What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, we are now here at the series final of Chernobyl, and I gotta say, this has definitely been one journey into this series in particular because, it's based on a real-life event that happened back in the late 80s, and, it's just something that I've always heard about, but watching the series and, just finding out a whole lot of other background information on it and stuff, it's actually just been really informative to know specific details of certain events that went on that led up to the moment, and all the aftermath effects that it has on all sorts of people and stuff. So yeah, like I said, it's definitely been a really good series. And I've definitely been enjoying every episode. Like, every episode is high quality. So we're gonna, oh yeah, before I get into the episode, I want to give a quick shout out to Vech. I hope I didn't mess your name up, but anyways, I've been reading your comments, and trust me, I've loved every bit of information that you've given me about specific things, and obviously how this and that went and stuff. Even I know, obviously, TV series aren't going to be necessarily 100% accurate with stuff they show, but hey, it's for entertainment's purposes. They make a lot of dramatic stuff more than what they probably should, but it is what it is. But like I said, thank you for all that extra information that you gave me on that. Oh, this is him right here if y'all wanted to know. So anyways, let's get right on into the episode. This is the final episode of the series, episode 5, Vichnaya Pamyat. I hope I got that name right too. Okay, this is the final episode. Let's get into it. I hope it's a good one. They've all been good. 10 out of 10s, every last one of them, in my opinion. I expect no lesser than a 12 from this one.
At midnight, there is a shift change.
We take it down to 700, hold it there.
That's where the mess up happens. People that didn't know nothing about it had to be put on the spot to do it.
Don't worry, we'll do it together.
No.
Instructions now.
Don't do it together.
He says to follow the cross-down instructions.
So then why are they crossed out?
Controlling and stabilizing the reactor that night was all of 25 years.
25? Nah. I'm sorry. That dude shouldn't even be nowhere near that at that age. 4 months. Starting to go wrong. Wait. Yeah, it's going.
Not even touching it.
It's going. That's not good.
Anything about this town, Chernobyl. It was mostly Jews and Poles. The Jews were killed in pogroms. Dead Jews, dead Poles. Not then.
Well, it's time.
Maybe a year. They call it a long illness. It doesn't seem very long to me. I know you told me, and I believe you. The time passed, and I thought it wouldn't happen to me. I wasted it.
They heard me, but they listened to you. Of all the ministers, all the deputies did most.
Gave him a little pep talk, just lift up his spirits. Let him know that he at least did put in effort to try to save people.
The results would have been useless, but the Atlov didn't care. All he wanted to do was report a completed test. He shut down.
Well, of course it's saying that. It doesn't know we're running a test.
A good punch in the face would have done you something good.
Question down when you're ready.
Did everything right.
I mean, at this point, it's probably already too late. Who knows? I don't know. All I can say is that it was just a bust right from
The tips are made of
graphite. Yep.
which accelerates reactivity.
Why?
It's cheaper.
No wonder that thing blew. That's way beyond its capability.
At long last, we have arrived.
1:23:45. The first episode title. Okay, that's real clever. I like that. They named the first episode after the time period when it happened.
No one in the room that night knew the shutdown button could act as a detonator.
Why worry about something that isn't going to happen?
They should put that on our money.
This is a very informative and yet really great episode. Gonna see them. That's his last time seeing them, I reckon.
Always there.
Oh, this is the tape recording from the first episode. Okay, so they bring that back full circle. Is that Chernobyl in the background?
And this fear the cost of truth. Now I only ask, what is the cost of lies?
Yep, full circle, all the way back. Yeah, we saw that. That's cool though that they're showing us the actual videos of the people and stuff. Yep. So at the end of the day, he did accomplish something. You know, he managed to prevent other catastrophes from happening. Yep. They acknowledged the design flaw. So in the end, what he did matter. Boars. Okay, so yep, it was inevitable. Yep, these guys. They were all sentenced to 10 years. I ain't gonna lie, that's a short sentence. Dakimov. Okay, so he died in 1995. 64. Shit, I mean, he lasted way longer than the other ones did. Second, probably. And they're still radioactive to this day. Oh, no, they were wrong. Okay, so she was able to still have a child. Okay, well, I mean, still sucks that she lost her husband in her first one, but still, you know, at least there's a little bit of something good from her out of that. It's now known as the Bridge of Death. Oh, yeah, the bridge in the first episode when they were all absorbing that stuff. Yep, this is about the miners. They worked for 1 month. 100 of them died before the age of 40. Okay. Dang. No, actually, they survived. How? 2 are still alive today. But how, though? They were literally right up under that stuff. No, I definitely need to look into that, though. Dramatic spikes in cancer rates across Ukraine. The highest, oh God, the highest increase was among children. Oh, man. We'll never know the actual human cost at Chernobyl, and it is estimated anywhere between 4,000 to 93,000 deaths. Wow. Suffered and sacrificed. Yep, absolutely. Is that the end? Oh, that is the end of Chernobyl. And man, I gotta say, that was an absolute fantastic series. You know, it's a mini series, so it's literally just 1 season. And, you know, that's all it needed was 1 season. Every episode mattered. Every episode gave the details. Every episode gave the blueprints. You know, the characters, the actors that played the characters were absolutely fantastic. And then just obviously the world building behind it as well, with like the plant, the workers, all that type of stuff, the people, just the residents, just everything about it was really good. Like I really like this series. I truly believe that this is probably the most informative and definitely the best series that I've watched in terms of like based on an actual real story, no doubt about it. Because this is stuff that happened for real, and even though the TV series obviously throws in a few extra flair for their own purposes and stuff, it still follows a lenient storyline of events that happen. And I have to say, like, they did a great job on this. Basically, just helping me understand more that Chernobyl was way more than just a plant explosion like I originally thought it was and stuff. There was way more to it than just that. And I just also found it real fascinating about how, as Legazaro said, the reason the RMBK reactor exploded, all the stuff with the people not knowing, the workers not knowing what they're doing, and obviously, what's his name, Dakimov or something, obviously him pushing it to go even further than what it should have, even though it shouldn't have in the first place. Because for one thing, you got a 25-year-old on it. Like, no, that's not gonna work. 4 months of experience, that's not gonna work. I don't care if you went to school for it. I don't care if you learned this stuff or what. At the end of the day, when you're put up in a situation where you have to do something for the very first time, you're gonna choke. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, you're gonna choke badly. Like, it's not a good ideal position to put someone who doesn't have no actual training, at least not training, but no actual true experience in that field and stuff. It's always gonna be a bad idea. And the results of it is exactly that. But yeah, like I said, it was a great series in general. I loved everything about it. I found absolutely no faults with it just from my point of view as a viewer. But yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, if you don't want to get into more trouble than what you already are, you got to start telling the truth, Stop with lying and all that stuff. Just own up to it and just be honest. Like, because if you constantly keep trying to work around specific things without at least putting effort into actually knowing what you're doing to solve it, then it's just going to get worse. So yeah, this is a great series, and I look forward to watching another completely different series after this. But with that being said, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. I said that backwards, but you get what I meant. Let me do that again. Make sure that you like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in another different series.